Welcome to KYC Media News. We bring you the greatest and most up-to-date news of the day, and we invite you to stay tuned. In England, Ukrainians are homeless. Many Ukrainians who have shown up in England since their nation was attacked by Russia have been left destitute or are compromised with vagrancy, figures show. Families permitted to come to the country either to join family members or as a feature of the Homes for Ukraine sponsorship plot have rather found convenience inaccessible or had game plans to house them separate. A sum of 655 Ukrainian families were owed a legal vagrancy obligation by nearby experts in England in the period to June 3, as per the Department for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities. This implies they had been evaluated as destitute or undermined with vagrancy. Nearly 180 were single families, while 480 were families with dependent kids. More than 2.5 million of the 7 million or more Ukrainians who escaped across Europe have gotten back to their country since Russia attacked. Independently, Noble Cause attempting to help those escaping are worried after quantities of gifts dropped. The White Eagle Good Cause has been giving shelter bags to bunches helping exiles who might be destitute across the landmass. Initially settled in the Netherlands in 2014, ShelterSuit has been making across-the-board weatherproof shelter suits and shelter bags for vagrants in the Netherlands, South Africa, the US and the UK. A government delegate expressed, in excess of 77,200 Ukrainians have shown up in the UK since Putin's intrusion and all appearances approach advantages in public administrations, as well as the option to work or study, from the day they show up. By far most of individuals are getting comfortable well, yet in the minority of situations where family or support connections separate, gatherings have an obligation to guarantee families are not left without a rooftop over their head. Committees likewise approach a rematching administration to find another support in cases under the Homes for Ukraine conspire. Lauren Scott, chief head of Displaced People at Home, a UK good cause which associates expected has with exiles needing some place to remain, said, "We are baffled and disheartened yet not shocked to see situations begin to separate." Expecting helpless, damaged evacuees to depend on the generosity of outsiders they have met on Facebook was consistently a gamble. Tragically, we accept what is going on may deteriorate as the facilitating special first night stage closes. She required a public backup intend to help families whose situations turn out badly, as there is no standard way for Ukrainians to change their visa supports, and no single component for moving subsidizing starting with one host then on to the next. Kate Brown, CEO of Reset Communities and Refugees, said, "Supporting evacuees takes something beyond offering a home. Planning is critical." Because of the speed of the Homes for Ukraine conspire, a portion of the significant preparation to guarantee both the support and the displaced person bunch is prepared sadly and justifiably hasn't occurred. Reset is getting demands day to day from Ukrainians who wish to move from their support, referring to many reasons including inconsistency, seclusion, or their support accusing them to remain of them. We have likewise been reached by supports who have not been matched through our administration requesting help to rematch the individual they support. This can be a result of a change to their situation, varying assumptions for what sponsorship implies, or their visitor wishing to be somewhere else in the UK. The pressures can prompt Ukrainian exiles becoming destitute. Since Russia attacked Ukraine in late February, two plans have been laid out to permit evacuees to make a trip to the UK. The Homes for Ukraine sponsorship conspire permits Ukrainian nationals and their relatives to come to the UK in the event that they have a named support. Figures distributed on Thursday show that 90 families in England conceded through this plan have been surveyed as destitute or undermined with vagrancy in light of the fact that the course of action for their convenience has separated, alongside a further 55 families whose convenience was not accessible or reasonable on appearance. Under the Different Ukraine Family Scheme, which permits candidates to join relatives or expand their visit in the UK, 175 families in England have been evaluated as destitute in light of the fact that game plans have separated, alongside 280 whose convenience was inaccessible or unsatisfactory.
55 families where the justification behind were being surveyed as destitute or undermined with vagrancy was classed as other or not known.
Of the complete 655 families owed a legal vagrancy obligation, simply over half, 345, were recorded as being in brief convenience when the figures were gathered. That is why it is vital the government ensures that hosts and refugees are provided with the right training and specialist support, including help to find alternative accommodation when necessary to avoid the risk of homelessness. The Independent revealed last month that Ukrainian refugees in the UK who become homeless could be housed in Band BS indefinitely under new laws quietly pushed through by the government. The changes also set out that councils can place these groups out of area, potentially hundreds of miles away, without taking into account factors such as the disruption to employment and education and access to medical facilities or other support. This incorporates quaint little inn lodgings, lodging affiliation properties and different sorts of convenience utilized by nearby specialists to satisfy legal obligations towards the destitute. David Renard, lodging representative for the local government association, repeated Mr. Bett's calls to empower individuals on the family plot who present as destitute to be re-coordinated with a support under the Homes for Ukraine Conspire. He added, pressing work is required on how gatherings can function with government and the local area, confidence and willful area so those offering their homes can be immediately coordinated with a family out of luck. Mr. Reynard additionally called for better information offering to neighborhood chambers, saying, as of now gatherings get no information on, or subsidizing for, individuals who are going under the family visa conspire. Committees additionally need data on appearances through Homes for Ukraine and those supporting them as fast as could really be expected so they can guarantee support convenience is appropriate and protected before they show up. Information doesn't necessarily in every case show up so as to empower this, and numerous gatherings are as yet revealing critical issues with this data. We invited a huge number of British individuals that approached to open their homes, but these facilitating connections were continuously going to accompany dangers and obligations, he added. To that end, it is fundamental the public authority guarantees that hosts and displaced people are given the right preparation and expert help, including help to find elective convenience when important to keep away from the gamble of vagrancy.
The Independent uncovered last month that Ukrainian evacuees in the UK who become destitute could be housed in Band BS endlessly under new regulations unobtrusively moved through by the public authority. The progressions additionally set out that gatherings can put these gatherings out of region, possibly many miles away, without considering elements like the interruption to business and training and admittance to clinical offices or other help. The figures likewise show that 20 families have tried not to be classed as destitute on the grounds that they have been rematched with different hosts. An administration representative expressed those showing up in the UK under the two plans approached advantages in public administrations, as well as the option to work or study, from the day they show up. They added, by far most of individuals are getting comfortable well, however in the minority of cases, where family or support connections separate, committees have an obligation to guarantee families are not left without a rooftop over their head. Gatherings likewise approach a rematching administration to find another support in cases under the Homes for Ukraine plot.